So hi everybody, my name is Patty Stanfield and I'm here to talk to you today about how I wound up here to talk to you today. Basically, I'm one of those people who has a slightly non-conventional path into the tech world, and I'm here to talk to you about that. Pirate cities to programming, my winding path to tech. So what we've got here, the wonderful beach scene, that's in Crete at Falasarna, and then this is my desktop from like 2 weeks ago. So we'll get there. Now, there we go. From a very early age, I was exposed to technology pretty much without realizing it. My dad learned how to program on punch cards in college. We always had computers, and my brother and I didn't really fight over the Atari, but also over our little Apple computer that we had in the 80s. I put together my own computer from components and was building basic HTML websites by the time I was 11. And I thought this was perfectly normal. But, aside from that wonderful glory of flashing glitter text from that early website, I also took part in a lot of other interesting kind of techie path things, math contests, science competitions, a junior engineering technical society, Kemble, the works. But I decided when I got into college that being Indiana Jones was a lot cooler than staring at a computer screen. And that's when I started pursuing ancient history. I did my first archaeological digs at Civil War sites along the Trail of Tears. I visited ancient sites whenever possible. Here you see me in places as diverse as Pompeii, Iceland, and, of course, Falasarna, Crete, which is where I did a major dig before the Greek government during my graduate work here at CU Boulder. So now you know how I came out here almost 11 years ago. Now, my path, obviously, was to go into history and to be a college professor. I taught everything from the rise of Mesopotamia through the fall of Rome. And as graduation approached, so did something else, the recession. So what was I going to do now, as all those tenure-track jobs were drying up because no one was leaving until they literally carried them out? Well, luckily enough for me, I had some museum experience. I actually am one of the old history paranormal guys from the Stanley Hotel. And I had a museum job offer at the History Museum at CU Boulder. Now, when I got there, I not only designed exhibits, did the tours, and did some educational programs, I, as the youngest person there, by a good 15, 20 years, was deemed the tech expert. I was the only person who had a Twitter. So I got to do all of our social media, and eventually I did get a reputation on campus of having this expertise. I redid our website, and all of a sudden I was being chosen to be on these search committees for campus, for the new social media gurus and that kind of thing for CU Boulder, which was very interesting, I've got to say. And eventually I realized that I kind of hit the top for what I could do in museum studies while at the museum, unless, once again, just like academia, unless someone died or retired, and neither of those things were happening. So I decided to, once again, jump ship. This time, I moved to the graduate school at CU Boulder, or as I like to say, I was stolen away by the dean's office. I kind of took a gamble and applied for a Technician 3 position at CU Boulder, the office of the dean of the graduate school. And while it's not quite where I planned to be in academia, the gatehouse of the Ivory Tower is still technically in the Ivory Tower, right? So here I've been for the last 6 years. I run all of the admissions for CU Boulder. I train the various 63 different departmental programs on their admissions systems. I also do all the money, so if you are planning to go into grad work, you should probably come and talk to me because I do all of our research funding as well. And I've also been able to build up a little bit more, not just in social media, not just on our websites, but into the world of programming, brushing off those old HTML skills from when I was in 5th grade. So now, I have started to move into a little bit of basic UX using web access for the graduate school. It's a big push for the university to be more accessible, so this has been something I've really been supported on, which is great. I've also been trying to figure out how the study of my ancient languages can morph into programming languages. Basically, that means things that look like chicken scratch actually make sense to me, so I'm pretty well suited for some of these kinds of things and basic applications. So what we're seeing up here is some of the stuff from one of my new programs. I've spent the last year and a half building out an application system for the university that's being rolled out across the entire university. So not only have I been in this deployment, which is through a platform called Technologians Slate, which is a very big thing in the application world for higher ed. These things are just a little bit of liquid markup up there so that I can make glitter appear when you get your admit letter. You know, the nice touches. This admission letter is actually my dog. She is the most admitted and denied entity at Boulder currently. I've also been making a big push for more analytics because we have so much data and we're not doing anything with it. So with a little bit of SQL help from my husband who's sitting over here and Qualtrics and a lot of pushing, we actually finally hired a data analyst. So I'm super excited to be working with her now. And don't worry, I do go back and plan on getting that PhD in history in retirement as a present to myself after I figure out what else I'm going to take this, what else I'm going to do. It's my winding path to tech, and I belong here, and it's pretty amazing to be where I am. This talk was brought to you by her, who met me at another Women in Tech talk, and decided that my little intro speech needed to actually be one of these. So, thank you guys.